Hi, it's Chris with Show Up Academy. Today we're going over blood pressure. So you've probably been to a doctor before. They're going to put a little cuff over your arm, the brachial region. They're going to pump up that little spigonometer, I think that's what it's referred to as, and they're going to give you some numbers, 120 over 80, 190 over 100. What do those numbers mean? So blood pressure is the pressure against the arterial walls. You have a filling up of your atriums and then the contraction of your ventricles. The top number is your systolic, the bottom number is your diastolic. 120 over 80 is considered normal, but you got to think of blood pressure like a U-shaped curve. I got a little cuff on right now. When you do the handheld one, you put it over your shoulder, work on diaphragmatic breaths, try not to move. You want to be in a seated position. I did this before the take, and here is our number. If you can see what that is, 123 over 86 with a resting heart rate of 75. Now, blood pressure is like a U-shaped curve. A lot of times people will tell you that that's a good blood pressure. It's okay. What is it really? There's a lot more to it than just good or bad. So U-shaped curve, one end bad, the other end bad. You want to be somewhere in the middle. But the biggest factors that have an effect on your blood pressure: genetics, stress, sleep, diet, and exercise. You've probably heard of a lot of other misconceptions that salt raises blood pressure, and that's just not the case. We did a YouTube video on that the other day. Ideally 120 over 80. If you start going to the left-hand side where the systolic gets a little higher, you got to be a little concerned. 140 over 90 is considered hypertension. So if you start going a little too high, that's when you may need to go on medication from your doctor. Remember, no one can tell you to go off your medication, only your doctor can. So if you're a trainer, never tell your client to stop taking their medication. If you start getting a little too high on one end, same thing with too low on the other end. We're 60 over 40. I'm not a doctor. I don't know if that's good or bad. Go get that checked out. Anytime you're uncertain with the number, refer out when in doubt. So I once had a client who was right around 65 over 45, and that's pretty low. I asked if they had, if they got lightheaded or dizzy or anything, if they've been to the doctor recently, and they said they've been within the last couple months. So I wasn't too concerned, knowing that blood pressure will probably increase as you sit up. So I just had that client stand up and their blood pressure went to like 70 over 50. Stereotypically, we're going to find closer to the left side, 130 over 85, 135 over 85. One of the best things for high blood pressure is going to be exercise, specifically cardio. Walking is going to help strengthen your heart. Go for a 30 to 60 minute walk every single day. Things you want to avoid when you do exercise is the Valsalva maneuver. That's squeezing like you got to take a big poop. You're pressing air against a closed glottis, which is going to increase your blood pressure. So make sure to eccentrically breathing out. Avoid holding on handles like farmer's walks or pull-ups and squeezing really, really hard. That can increase blood pressure. One last thing is doing like a push-up, jumping up real quick into a jumping jack, or a burpee into an overhead press. Your blood pressure is just going to go high and low. So really, just a takeaway with blood pressure, average we should be around 120 over 80. The top number is referred to as systolic, the bottom one is diastolic. And you can find out more information on www.showupacademy.vhx.tv for a lot more videos on measurements, calipers, body fat testing. Here's blood pressure.